What's going on, Internet? I'm Christopher Peterson from NerdEXP.
And I'm Alira, his sidekick.
And today we're here to help you with your Winter Soldier IQ. Captain America the Winter Soldier is hands down the most coherent and fully realized story that Marvel's told to date. Avengers, is definitely comic booky, sci-fi, over-the-top action, but I feel like there's definitely a couple plot holes. None of that criticism can be lobbied against Winter Soldier. It is Marvel's best story that they've told.
I also think they've done a great job with this particular film in building up who Steve Rogers is, how he's been this person out of time, how he has integrated himself into S.H.I.E.L.D., and really what it means to be Captain America, this iconic hero who has inspired so many to action. I feel like after seeing Chris Evans in this role, I really wish that Captain America were alive and well today, because I felt very inspired. I felt very proud to be an American. I was just like, yes, this is what we need. This is what I like. Make it happen.
I feel like, you kind of hinted at that, like, all this is riding on Chris Evans. In the first couple films, he's definitely, brings that character to life, but in this one, he really drove it home. Evans has always played charismatic, charming characters, but in playing Steve Rogers, he's playing a more straight-laced, rule follower, Boy Scout type character. But, he's still able to bring that, that undercurrent of charisma and, kind of suaveness to this role. He does a really good job in, everything throughout this movie. The kind of quieter character moments, the big rousing speeches that gets the troops together, or, just even the action sequences. I feel like he, really kind of raised the game to a whole new level.
He's also got a subtle sense of humor, too, and, they're just little gems that are scattered throughout the film that just kind of show, what it is that inspires him and what he's doing to try to get caught up and really get involved in, find himself in this day and age. From an action standpoint, this is a fantastic film. They nailed it in the choreography and the fighting scenes, in the technology that they use throughout, S.H.I.E.L.D. and their tech toys and how they've taken that to the next level. They did a great job with the sound effects. I feel like when you see Captain America square off against the Winter Soldier, it is two powerful forces of nature absolutely wailing on each other, and you feel like you're there, and you're just like, how are they still moving after being hit the way they just were?
Yeah, and speaking of movement, I feel like, Cap's shield, takes a life of its own that we haven't seen before in the films. He's able to throw that thing around a room, hit 12 guys, grab it. This is a weapon that you feel like is more defensive, blocking bullets, but he really turns it into, an offensive force. Kind of does have its own characteristics. And even, the sound effects associated with that are so good. Cap, putting that shield back on his back, kind of sheathing it, or throwing it around. There's always, a really satisfying, heavy clink to everything he does in that.
It's almost like the shield's alive. And I know that sounds really weird, but, it is an aggressive assault weapon. It is not, like you said, just defensive. It's great movement. It's really fun to watch.
And what's also kind of fun to watch is, Captain America is definitely the focal point, the leader of this film, but he also has a great supporting cast. I feel like in some movies, action movies, we have a problem. The supporting cast is there to, either get in a situation over their head, the hero has to rescue them, be cannon fodder, maybe they get to do a little bit, but really it's, Captain America's. Not the case here. In Winter Soldier, we have Black Widow, Falcon, Nick Fury, and they all have their own individual character arcs and moments that kind of define them. There's a lot of balls being juggled in this storytelling, but, amongst that, you kind of see Black Widow especially grow, and, newcomer Sam Wilson as the Falcon become kind of intrinsic to Captain America's world, and, really want to see what he does going forward.
All the feels. Can I just say all the feels? There's a lot of emotion in this movie. Like Chris said, it's definitely more serious, but at the same time, they do a really good job of showing the conflict, what each character is struggling with and working to overcome. I feel like you see Steve Rogers' impact on the people that he's around. You see how he's influenced Nick Fury, you see how he's influenced Natasha, and how she might have softened just a little bit and might be more willing to put herself out there. While still keeping true to, I feel, the characters that have been developed in the movies prior to this one. So definitely really cool to see, and really just adds a layer of depth to this movie that I think the story overall really benefited from.
Yeah, if there's one criticism that I can slightly lobby against this movie, it's the fact that there was an overabundance of Easter eggs and some of them especially directly tied to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I understand that, Marvel kind of has this grand plan, it's all connected, hashtag is running around, trying to show that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is relevant to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but some of these kind of just came across a little jarring. There's some name drops I think comic fans will be excited for. Hopefully that means they'll translate to a movie later on down the road. But when you kind of hear it, you kind of have that, oh man, that's a really exciting moment, instead of focusing on the action that's in front of you.
And maybe just because I'm a chick and I notice, things that are sparkly and gold. But there are a couple of nods, perhaps, to, a relationship between Black Widow and Hawkeye, maybe. So, just lots of little hints or things that at least could potentially mean other things in this film. So you should definitely consider seeing this a second time after you see it the first time, because I feel like there's a lot more things that you would pick up the second time around.
Well, I'll probably see it the second time because Captain America: The Winter Soldier is that good. If you disagree with us, we'd like to hear your opinions. We'll probably criticize them for being wrong, but we'd still like to hear them. If you love Winter Soldier, let us know. We also want to hear from you regarding that. If you want to hear more of our thoughts and comments, which you probably do, you can follow me on Twitter at ChrisTasticGuy.
Or you can follow me at Alira.
Well, I hope this helped you guys with your Winter Soldier IQ. Level up, friends.